The following is a presentation of the Eagles Sports Network.
This is CNEagles.com. I'm the voice of the Eagles, Adam Cavalier, and today we're starting something new. This is part of our new series called Sunday Conversations, where we go in depth with a Carson-Newman athlete, administrator, coach on hopefully something a little off the beaten path and something a little different than just athletics. And thanks for joining me today, Sawyer Williams.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Men's basketball, the sport, but probably you're good at basketball, but probably more talented as a goat farmer. Lots of championships back home in Kentucky. How did you get started farming goats?
Well, I've always lived on a farm. Starting off when I was young, my dad, he raised cattle, and he kind of got out of that, and I started with sheep, and then just started with a few goats and really liked it and started showing, and it grew from just a few goats to around 35 to 40.
What is it about it that you enjoy?
I enjoy raising, taking a mother and a father goat and raising a young goat and taking it out there and competing against other farmers, and so, I really like competition.
Yeah.
Something I've raised and taking it out there and putting it up against another farmers.
What do you take away from that field of competition that you apply on the basketball court?
It's just competition, really. It's just, I don't know, it has its own variables of competition. Out on the court, it's more of a physical competition, and it's more preparation, I think, with the goat farming, because, you're showing one product, but sometimes in that product of show, you have 2 or 3, 4, 5 years of preparation put into that one product. So it's kind of a mental game. Once you have that one product that wins, it's really a big
Payoff?
Yeah, big payoff to you to see all that preparation go into something.
Okay, I'm a judge.
Yeah.
I'm judging one of your goats. What am I looking for?
When I try to explain to people, I try to compare it to maybe like a dog show or something.
Okay.
They're based on conformation, and the goats that I show are judged on meat. So you want a good structural goat, but also a goat that's got a lot of meat to him and a big bodied, but can carry that body with good sound structure.
So when you say meat, you're talking about the actual. He's a strong goat, not. This is a tasty goat.
Yeah, well.
Or both.
Both, because these goats are ultimately the market for these goats will end up on someone's plate. So.
Okay, so if I'm going out shopping for beef and I want a nice good cut of beef, I know to look for marbling. I know to look for that. What is it? What are you looking for in a good cut of goat meat?
Basically the same thing. It doesn't really have this amount of marbling a beef has, but when you're judging the goat, there's certain cuts, just like in a cut of beef, that are ideal. So when you're judging a goat, you're looking for more ideal cuts. You want a goat with a nice long loin, which give you more cuts of loin, or nice rump, stuff like that.
So are those? If you can compare them to a steak, I'm a big fan of a ribeye. Yeah. Does a goat have a ribeye, or is it all based off of, or is the loin the rump and that?
No, they have basically the same cuts. It's just a lot smaller, but they don't specify them down to as many cuts as beef. But I don't eat goat. I'm in it more for the show. But I guess if you want to know more, you have to talk
to a butcher.
Yeah, talk to a butcher. I don't really. I've ate it before, but I'm not. We don't butcher them or anything to eat.
What traits are you looking to combine to get a goat that can do something at a show?
Well, my style of goat is something that's bigger and bulkier. I like the bulky, but also when you get that, sometimes you get into structural problems. So a goat that carries a good structure, structural conformation, and carries the breed conformation that can also carry a big body. So it's kind of hard to get both. You want kind of the finesse with the power. So mixing that game is kind of tough, you know.
So a little like your post game there,
Yeah.
a little bit of finesse
Yeah.
with a little bit of power.
Yeah, try to mix it.
You look at all the goats that you've raised over the years, and I'm sure it's in the hundreds, if not the thousands by now. Is there one that sticks out to you as a favorite?
Yeah. Well, I didn't actually raise him. I bought him
Okay.
as a young one, but his name was Chester, and he died last September.
Mm-hmm.
But I had him for a while, and I actually sold half interest of him to a farmer in Texas. But I have probably 15 or 20 of his daughters now, and there's no telling how many. He's probably got hundreds of offspring out there in the goat world now. So
What was it about him that made him special?
he was just a really good goat based off judging, but he was also just had a good personality to him, and I mean he knew his name like a dog. He acted like a dog and everything like that. So both. I mean he was really good. He put off really good kids and made pretty good money off of him, and also he's just good personality. Yeah.
Obviously you're working with a lot of numbers, and that one sounds more like a pet than livestock per se. How often does something like that happen?
A lot of times, you know, you get attached to one, and you know there's always a money value on one, and sometimes it's hard to sell. I had another one that I was pretty attached to, but I knew I couldn't keep it, and the money kind of outdrove my attachment to it. He's out there still. He went to Indiana, and now he's in a farm in West Virginia and doing really well. And he kind of made a pretty good name for himself in the goat world. So
You get to do stuff with kids too through 4-H. What's it like to educate the youth of America, and more specifically Kentucky, on farming and raising livestock?
I really like to watch, you know, kids progress from, you know, just a small interest of, you know, wanting to get out and just the interest in livestock, and you know, transferring that interest into goats. And then, you know, some kids that I've worked with, you know, they don't know anything about goats. You tell them everything, and then before too long, they're researching stuff and telling you stuff about goats. And I really like to see that. I help a lot of kids with making sure they have 4-H animals and getting them to the shows, and you know, teaching them, you know, giving them the stuff they need to know to further their interest in these goats.
What is it about teaching in that arena that you enjoy?
I like to see just spark the interest. You know, teaching. You know, there's some people you just teach. You have to tell them every little thing, but I really like when I teach somebody, and you know, you kind of see the spark that shows them that they want to learn more, and you know, push forward to better themselves and to grow their goat herd.
Do you feel like you're advancing your profession when you do that, or the industry itself?
Yeah, I mean, advancing the boar goat industry, I guess. You know, educating them on, you know, herd improvement. You know, improving their herd is overall. If we could all do that, we could improve the actual boar goat. You know, and that's what we're all reaching for, is a better goat. And if everybody could just you know, strive to learn more, we could do that. You know, increase the quality of the goats.
What is it about the industry, the profession, that you feel, in terms of a quality of goat, that does need improved?
Well, I think that the people are reaching so far to improve. They're reaching a certain style of goat that's causing some problems. They're looking for so much of. There's two different types of goats. There's a breeding goat and there's a weather goat, and I think people are trying to mix that too much and get too much of a weather style goat, which you probably don't know what I'm talking about.
I have
but
no idea.
There's some people that
I'm
probably
going to ask you to educate me here in
Yeah.
a second. So if you want to go ahead.
There's probably some people that are watching this that don't understand, but there's some people that will disagree with me. But I think
You're going to open up a massive goat controversy here on SeeingEagles.com.
I think people are breeding goats to look, you know, too feminine.
Okay.
Boar, you know, the bucks they're breeding them too feminine, and I kind of like the older style goat, and if there's a way to get the older style more feminine without getting some of the problems, it'd be better.
Now, I'm presuming you say that because you're after a style of goat that is the big, muscular, bulky style. What's the benefit to that? What's the benefit to a feminine style of goat?
Well, the benefit to a bigger masculine goat is, I mean, that's what the goat's bred for. It's bred for meat, and I mean, people like the Weathers. Weathers is the market show. They're showing them as goats that are going to market, and they're wanting them to look streamlined, and they're breeding their breeding goats to look like the Weather goats, which I mean, some people like it, but I don't like it as much as other people. But it's just two different worlds in the goats, and I don't think that I don't like to mix it, but I mean there is some that style of goats can improve my style of goats, and I think there's ways that I need to use that style to improve my style, but I think you just got to be careful when you're mixing those two styles.
When you came here, you started going toward being a vet as profession post graduation. Is that something you're still interested in pursuing, or do you want to follow goat farming full time?
No, I'm pretty stuck to veterinary medicine. I'm applied to Auburn. It'll be a long process, just probably in the spring before I hear anything back on it, get an interview or anything like that. That's the only school I've applied to, so hopefully I can get down there and get an interview. But I plan to still goat farm, at a small scale until I can get on my feet.
What is it about animals that you like working with and being around?
I don't know. Firstly, I like the personality of animals, and I like taking two animals and breeding them together and producing offspring, and taking strengths of one and strengths of another and breeding them together and eliminating weaknesses. And it's just a big game of it's a big gamble, and sometimes you do good and sometimes you mess up bad, and I kind of like the gamble of it.
Sawyer, thank you for the time and educating us on the intricacies of goat farming.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
That's Carson-Newman men's basketball senior forward Sawyer Williams. I'm the voice of the Eagles, Adam Cavalier. This has been our Sunday Conversation. Thanks for watching.